President Akufo Addo will go down in history as the luckiest president in Ghana. And I'll prove that. The luckiest in terms of revenues and resources. But certainly, he would go down as a president who has done very, very little for this country when it comes to substance and issues that affect your lives. If you look at petroleum receipts, President Mahama received 6.4 billion cedis in his whole 4 years. President Akufo Addo, by the end of this year, will be receiving over 20 billion cedis in petroleum revenues. If you look at energy sector levies, and this is a levy the MPP described as obnoxious. This is a levy the MPP promised that on assumption of office, they will scrap that levy. President Mahama took a bold decision. It was an election year. He could have thought of the election and decided, look, I will wait. Let me win the election before I introduce it. But sometimes leaders must make decisions in the interest of the state and not just because of politics. You might win politically, you might win elections, but when your conscience is clear that the decision you are taking is in the interest of that country, you must be bold, take that decision, and one day you'll be vindicated. President Mahama received only 3 billion of energy sector levies. President Akufo Addo is receiving 12 billion of these energy sector levies. Not only have they returned it, they have increased the levies on petroleum, they've increased the levies on diesel, they've increased the levies on gas, and increased the levies on petrol. And so when the BDCs are paid through the energy sector levies, instead of giving credit to the man who dreamt about it, who conceived it, who pioneered it, they rather want to take credit for where they did not sow. And yesterday I saw them parading it all over. I think that the time has come for us to be honest. The time has come for politicians to state the truth and be honest to the people of Ghana. Because politics can also be about the truth. Like I said, if you look at total revenues, and I decided to do 3 years. If you look at the budgets, President Mahama received 71 billion cedis in the 3 years. President Akufo Addo has received 141 billion cedis in 3 years. And so you can see the little that President Mahama got in terms of revenues and the whooping amounts that President Akufo Addo got, and compare the two to see who has done better given the circumstances that they find themselves in. Due to these huge petroleum increases, and if you look at the 2018 budget, Ghana had a surplus in terms of the exports of petroleum and the imports of more than $1 billion. And so the finance minister quickly comes to parliament and announced that, look, we've done so well. The trade balance is improved. It is now positive. But when you look at the trade balance, you clearly see that it's on account of petroleum. You just don't look at the trade balance. Go and look at the current account. And you see a huge negative with the current account. Because the current account tells you precisely what you get, not just the raw figures of the export. And so Dr. Bawumia can decide that he will do statistical galamsey and give you figures on only trade, but wouldn't deal with the current account. And it is the same when you go and look at the reserves. Like I said, because of the Heritage Fund and the other funds, the gross reserves will always go up. Because every year, you keep adding money to the Heritage Fund. And the Heritage Fund is part of the gross international reserves. But where you ought to be looking at is the net international reserves. Any serious economist will not just look at the gross international reserves. Because gross means that there are other things there. When you net them off, then you get the actual net international reserves. That tells you whether you are doing well as a country or not. And despite all these huge revenues, clearly you can see that we are not achieving what we ought to achieve.